National Beer Day. National Beer Day. Is it National Beer Day? Huh? Is it really National Beer Day?
That's what I heard.
They just make up holidays for anything, man.
Yeah, it's always national something day.
Do we get holiday pay? So I used to ask my boss at my job I used to have back in the day. Before I gave that job up for a career in flag football. And now here I am today. Making videos at 10 o'clock at night because Facebook wants to.
For free.
I don't care. If you have a sponsor and you want to sponsor our show, yeah, do that.
I could be some sponsor.
What, paper towels?
I'll give you a roll of paper towels.
Why don't you throw me a roll of paper towels?
You always need a roll of paper towels in the car, bro.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
That's for you.
Ross.
That's me. Are we live?
Yeah, of course we're live.
We are live?
You think I'm gonna do rehearsal at 10
Well,
o'clock?
I don't know, bro. Because, you were just supposed to be live, and then, some people could see it, some people couldn't.
Well, there was no audio from
Nobody
me
could
on
comment
my
on
end.
it.
He has a shite show. Washington County Flag Football League live. We're sorry for the late start. I've been like I said, we're trying to get stuff done.
We're live.
We started the show.
Yeah,
Technically, we started the show with the TJ Holston interview.
Yep.
That was a surprise. We wanted to start the show with a little bit of familiar face from the 4-state. Remember, guys, the Wolverines are technically your defending champions, regardless of where you're playing at along 81. Because let's be real here. KFFL last season was a merger season with County. They were our landlords up there. They're the undisputed champions, the Wolverines. TJ Holston is 2-0 in championship games. He only has one loss on I-81 right now.
Washington County.
It is. They're talking county.
You can't get a Wolverine championship.
Yes, because it wouldn't have mattered. They would have been there anyways. Think about it. Remember the Saturday. Merger season. I can retcon what I choose to retcon.
Yes, I with that mentality, I can understand why.
Also,
for the Kings and
didn't we beat your ass?
Hockey.
We don't talk hockey. It's a flag football show.
I'm just saying, with that mentality, I can understand why you root for the
See
Kings.
you in the cup.
What, 10 years ago?
Still got more than you all do. Bum-ass caps.
That's what happens when you start a franchise.
All right, no one cares.
For some
No one
reason,
cares
it's like
about.
a
No one cares
franchise.
about hockey and flag football. Hold on. You know what? No. All right, I got no jokes. You ain't doing it. Let's talk sports. Let's get to it.
County show.
Yes, Wolverines are the I-81 area champions because no matter what, it's the same players.
County show.
Yes, this is a
Can
county
we
show.
talk about
fuckhead.
how Top Gun did not beat the Warriors in the first
Hold on.
Washington
Hold
County
on.
flag football?
Did I say hold on. How was your weekend? You didn't tell me that.
It was busy, but it was good.
Good,
it was
good,
fun.
Yeah. Let's do a real introduction.
It
All
was
right.
a good time.
Hey, let's go. Hey, let's give a congratulations to the players of the Washington County Flag Football League who went up there this past weekend to the XFFL April Fool's tournament. The Misfits and the Demons had some representatives up there as well. You know, Ross Collins was up there. He was calling games all weekend. He was putting in the work in the rain.
Up there on Saturday morning and left Sunday night.
And our guy Tyler Spencer up there as well. He called the A championship. He killed it. I'll tell you.
My driver.
Your driver, yeah. Hey, I'll tell you, you guys did a hell of a job up there this weekend. Washington County and the I-81 corridor representing out there. The 4-state is where it's at right now. And I'll tell you what, Ross Collins, I'm excited. We got a lot more to come. But a big congratulations to all of you who were up there last week. You and Tyler calling games. Tyler called the A championship. If you haven't watched his live yet, it was killer, dog.
Yeah.
That's over there on the XFFL page. Might put it up tomorrow on the YouTube page for those of you who like to sit back at home on your recliners and enjoy what was an epic battle. I tell you what, Just awesome performance all around this weekend. Shout out to the Misfits, man. Yeah, shout out to the Misfits as well. They got a win over there on Saturday to beat the Punishers. They had a come from behind tie with the Lions.
Oh wow!
Yeah, a little excessive, right?
I kind of agree with them, man. I think that rule should be reevaluated.
Kind of agree,
especially in flag. I think that rule should be reevaluated.
I agree.
Let them have fun, man.
Let them have fun. Let's play. It's the old days. It's a game. Let's ball.
Like you score a touchdown, you start the clock in 1 minute. Boom, you got 1 minute, kick it off. If they don't make that minute and they're too busy celebrating, then you call a flag. If not, there you go. Let them kick it.
I say that's it. We'll see how it goes, but like I tell you, congratulations to all our guys out there.
Yeah.
And you know, especially the elite rebels, like I said, like those guys, they may not have played in county mostly, although some have popped up once in a while.
They've fallen ever since they were whack rebels.
I followed Anarchy and BC Elite a few years ago, and then those I split off with whack, went back to the whack rebels name, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, give a big shout out. A lot of those guys who were on that team were with the Wolverines last year in the KFFL. When they beat the Misfits for the championship. And, you know, I respect that. They came in here and beat our guys to win the league. They pulled the whole trap thing the Misfits pulled on Broad Axe, X-Dogs, and Showtime the year prior. But they came in and pulled it on Pure Chaos, X-Dogs, and Misfits instead. And even got wins on a couple other teams along the way. Me personally, Jamie Lagana, I know you're watching.
I was gonna say, hey, hold on. Let me say this.
What do you want to say?
Big shout out to Jamie Lagana, man.
Big shout out to Jamie Lagana.
I was down and out on Sunday. I need a little break. I need something to eat. He handed me like $4, said, give me a drink while you're over there, and I'll lie for you till you come back. And I'm like, my man.
I thought I heard him at one point, like when on one of your lives. So I was going in and out because I was a little busy myself all weekend. But like, hey, big shout out to Jamie as well. Hey, let me go ahead. Let's put the link in the chat. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it. Wolverines need to come to Washington County next.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that too. I want to see the Wolverines in Washington County. And I know that it is a little bit of a drive, a little bit different KFFL, but come down here. We do it just as great here in the Washington County Flag Football League. The whole 4-state region comes together over here. And you see the best of the best every single Sunday morning. And we may have more to come on Saturdays. Who knows where we're going to be. Our commissioner, Sean Moats, putting into work every single week. Got to give him credit. Give me triple headers. We'll talk about where we're at next year. We'll see where we're at with Sean and everything else. I'll tell you, but this season, Ross, what a week one we had. Let's go over the recap. Start off the morning. Top Gun Warriors. 6th meeting all time between these two teams. First one since September 1st, 2018. I was 27 then, Ross. I'm about to turn 31 in a few weeks. That's how long we went between games.
I hear you.
Crazy. We're all old now. Top Gun came out, and they came locked and loaded. Impressions. Top Gun's yellow jersey. I was told it was a tribute to West Virginia because it had the blue numbering.
Right.
So I could see that in that regard. Yeah. It was different at first because, like I said, I'm used to Top Gun gray or camo, the blue they tried toward the end. I was always more of a Top Gun gray guy. That was my favorite one. I did love the camo they tried, though. That was also legit. Who we got? Cramm Sandford trying to come in the room. All right. We'll get back to the recap in a minute. Let's get our man Cramm on the air.
My honest opinion about the yellow, though.
Yeah, your honest opinion about yellow?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? It's not tradition. I don't like it either.
I don't like it. Not for Top Gun. I kept forgetting who we were playing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you guys were playing.
That was a wild Sunday, bro. We had Tyler Spencer at QB all weekend.
All weekend?
All Sunday.
And you there? And you got no video?
Cramm Sanford.
No audio?
Got
just says Cramm Sanford on screen.
Got tablet audio.
I'm about to lean over for the boot button. coming. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
There we go. There he is. All right, Cramm. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. Playing some poker.
All right. How's everything been since the first week? How was that first week, bro? That was a pretty intense game week one. You guys having both Chaos and Bees, that doubleheader.
Yeah, Bees. Chaos played first, I believe. I was actually hoping to see a fulfilled team. You know what I mean? Like more bodies out there. Like they didn't have like too many reserves. I think they had maybe like 2 or 3 sitting on the sideline. Shout out to Marty though. You know what I mean? The offensive line that did step up, that was there, that was able to play. You know what I mean? A lot of guys that you normally don't see for pure Chaos playing offense, played offense. You know,
they needed more bodies. I agree.
They definitely needed more bodies. Missing a lot of key players out there. You know, Ronnie wasn't there. Houston wasn't there. I don't know if Elias is still there. You know, a lot of guys from when I played with them, I don't know if they're still there. So,
well, that's the one thing that really hurt Chaos in week one was that doubleheader. I think that day prior in Shippensburg was a factor. You go out there, you get donutted back-to-back by the X-Dogs and Killer Bees to start your season. That is not a good confidence boost going into a third game the next morning with the Misfits.
On that.
Yeah, especially like if you go out there to West Virginia early in that very cold day. I don't know if there's any documentation, but it had to be the coldest day in the history of the league with how chilly it was out there. The wind was high and
wind sucked.
That wind was brutal, bro. That was too much.
Definitely brutal.
Yeah, like too much for me. But it was fun to get out there again. I was really happy to go out and do a full day of Washington County. We're going to be doing it all season. We're going to try to hit all 7 weeks. That's the goal. If I can't step in, we got a lot of depth in the 4th state right now with live streamers. Between me, Ross, Tyler, making it around in Washington County. You know, some guys have stepped up along the way.
So everyone's looking for the next guy. Step on.
Yeah, Cramm, you've been on there before. In fact, you called TJ Holston's win over Rampage at the Summer Showdown a few years ago.
Yes, I sure did. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that game where Rampage and them.
Is that York?
That was York, a Summer Showdown.
Yeah, we were both like, we're done, bro.
Yeah, we had it to Ant, and Ant took over for the second half of the game, and then we split the championship in the end. Yeah,
man, I think that was one of the most well put 14 championships tournaments that we ever had for real. And TBT, man, we were light. A lot of our guys got banged up during the tournament.
We had guys in car accident.
Yeah, man. Like, oh my God, bro. Like, just thinking about oh my gosh. I seen the picture on my brother Larry's Instagram the other day, bro. And I was like, yo, can't believe fucking Rampage won this shit. This shit's fucking ridiculous. These niggas wasn't even really like that, bro. Like, the team that TBT had, bro, come on now, man. Like, we fucking smack Rampage.
I take full blame for that because in recruiting, I put the brakes on thinking we had just enough coming in, and then came the dropouts, and then came Shane in a car accident, and then you got Brock had his head split open. Remember that?
Yeah.
Brock had his head split open, had to go to the hospital.
That was Crazy Nick, wasn't it?
Was it Karwacki who got him?
I'm pretty sure.
Might have been. I don't know. It's been a minute.
I'm pretty damn sure.
I remember Moats had a concussion. Sean was taken out for it. Like, he took a shot. Like, on a kickoff.
We're going down left and right.
Yeah, like, it was a tough time. And you know what, though? Elite Rebels and Rampage did a hell of a job in that tournament. I make no excuses in the end. We took our L's, but that day I saw what TJ Holston and Elite Rebels were going to be in the future with that rally they had. Remember, they lost that first game to Gusto Land in that double elimination tournament. And then that second game against us, the elimination game, TJ threw a pick 6 to Tyler on the first play of the game. And then after that, they outscored us 20-6 the rest of the way. And then they went on to win 2 straight after that elimination games over Gusto and Rampage before falling short on a blocked extra point against Rampage in the chip. What a run it was. TJ Holston had a touchdown on all 5 of his final drives in all 5 games.
The boy is definitely something, man, to be fucked with. I'm telling you. Like, he's different.
What does Jamie Lagana think?
I think TJ Holden has ice in his veins. The dude had no problem under pressure ever. TJ, I've been around flag football for a long time. I haven't been around 9-man that long, about a year. But TJ Holston's one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play flag football. Smart, his moves, the arm, the decisions he makes, how he holds the team together. Y'all don't see him in the chat and stuff. TJ Holston's a hell of a football player and teammate. But he's not even a football player. He's a lacrosse player. That's the funniest part.
Yeah, that's the funniest part right there.
Yeah. But
listen, I just wanted to point out how nice it was to be up there at that tournament in Jersey. Obviously, I'm rooting for our team. You know, I want Rebels to win everything. It's the way it is. But I'll tell you, Saturday night at 9:00 when the Misfits came off that field, I was on the sideline with them the entire game, rooting for them. You know, yelling for them to get in the game and everything else. Cramm can tell you.
Fact. That's
so,
fact.
You know, DMV, we were supporting each other all weekend, and that was great.
That's a fact. We always do that shit, man. We got to.
That's what makes our culture great is that we have family down here. Like, and we all back each other in a big way. And when it comes to going out on the road, and if somebody from around here wins, it's a big win for all of us because I can tell you it's possible. I go back to what Damian Kayson had told me back in a long time ago, and this was something he had always said, was that 7-point winning the national championship back in 2018 was such a huge deal because he had played against those guys at 8-man in Virginia over the years. Right. And had also just beaten them in the Hagerstown tournament 2 months prior. Remember that Adrenaline Rush team that won its first A bracket tournament back at Mason-Dixon 17.
Yeah.
Hard to believe how far we've come since then. And remember that Mason-Dixon tournament, TJ Holston was the quarterback for the Maryland Bullets.
Yep.
And the game he lost in the semifinals, 7-point spread, 7-point beat them 25-0.
That's when Scott decided to put in BC Elite, man.
Yep. And because shortly after TJ got injured, that's when Kevin Clancy stepped in as quarterback for the Bullets. He won the B chip, beating the St. Louis Pack in 18. We need that QB matchup, Clancy and Holston. We could have got that last year, but scheduling timing killed that, unfortunately, with Demons Wolverines.
I'll be honest with you. That'll be a crazy matchup right there. It depends on how you looking at the matchup. If it's league play, then Clancy's with his little trick shit. You know what I mean? But if it's tournament play call, offensive play calling, that's gonna be a fucking tough ass goddamn game. It's gonna be a shootout.
Honest to God, if that was a day 2 Sunday game, I'll be honest. I like to see that. That's a game that that's a dream matchup on terms of QBs facing off. We're gonna have a lot of those in Washington County this year, especially with the way things are looking. Have you had a moment to tune into what we're doing down here, Jamie? Not in KFFL, but the county on Sundays.
A little bit, yeah. Moats actually hit me up and he asked me right before the season started, hey, why don't you bring a team down? But, and I like Sean a lot, but the only problem there was I had no time to prepare. That kind of a trip, the commitment that would take.
Really fast here the last couple of weeks. It's been an interesting journey, but we made it so far.
Right. So had I had, at least a month to recruit or a month and a half, maybe I probably would have put a team in. As soon as you guys have dates for the next season, I need to know because, I'm collecting chips at this point from league, so I'll take what I can get where I can get it.
For now, if you got some guys you want to send down play for Warriors, we got it.
Ross is offering you to play for the Warriors, but I don't think he can make that call these days.
I don't play nothing, man. All I do is try to coach the best that I can, trying to put that Wolverines name out there as much as I can. We just came off that YAFFL win as well.
Well, shit, your name is definitely out there. I can tell you that much.
That was the thing. Like that championship win over Misfits last year was one of the biggest upsets when you look at the numbers and talent across the board. because
oh my gosh, we only had 9 guys at the end of the game.
Yeah, and the Misfits came in with all of the best talent that we've seen in this region in the last 5 years come through. Key faces of this era of Washington County. And the Wolverines, what stood out to me the most was just how you guys came out there. You had 3 games that day. You talk about the Chaos game. You guys had no issue with Chaos early. Chaos has had some issues. They're having bigger problems themselves. They're on a deep slide right now. Yeah. And then the X-Dogs game, I would have never thought in my life I'd ever say that Matt Eisenberg threw the game-losing interception to Austin Folkenroth returned for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Listen.
Austin stepped up big time last season.
I've ragged on Austin for a long time about a lot of things, being little and skinny and short and, skinny white guy, whatever. Austin showed up that entire season up there in Shippensburg. He pulled so many flags. He had so many 4th down stops. I think he had 5 or 6 interceptions on the season. I think one of them was a pick 6 to win a game. He played very well. He gained a lot of my respect that season.
Same for me. Yeah.
And I don't respect many people.
That pick 6 on Matt he had was legendary. That was a man in Eisenberg who's got 3 circuit championships. He's got a semifinals appearance every year at every league he's ever been in for the last 20 years. And Austin, in what was a rookie season for him in 9-man, say what you want about Clash of York 1, that wasn't really a fair measurement of how good he could be.
Right.
The season with Wolverines, though, showed what kind of player he was in 9-man, and he stepped up in a big way on defense. And the team you guys had in that championship game, one of the gutsiest performances you'll ever see in the dark.
You want to hear something funny, though? You know who else was on that roster that didn't end up playing either at all or toward? I had Fred. I think Sed was on it. Franklin. Milk was there. He played. But I had 6 or 8 of the Rebel guys, or maybe even more. And unfortunately, schedules just didn't work out or whatever. So it could have even been better or worse. Think about it that way.
That's the anomaly of a Saturday league. With a Saturday league, nobody has any commitments to Baltimore or DC or anywhere else in flag football country, York or anything like that. That's why, like the last 2 seasons in the fall, in both KFFL and county, you've seen the best of the best on the field. We go back to the greatest Washington County season back in 2020. Every single Saturday was an exhibition of the best talent in the DMV. We had national champions. We had guys playing circuit. Dion Page even popped in at one point.
Yes, he did. He played with me on program.
I remember that game. Dion and Keith had a little good conversation about the F-bomb rule and how it worked in county.
Yeah.
That's one of my
Dion's a nut. He's funny as hell. He owes me a tournament yet. He knows that. So you might see him on the Wolverine, well, not one of the Wolverine jersey. He won't do that, but you might see him on a Wolverine roster here soon.
Okay.
I'm about to say he was supposed to be on you guys. He was on the roster sheet, I thought, for one of the 8-man York tournaments a while back.
And he didn't show. That's why he owes me a tournament.
Yeah, that Yaffle 8-man tournament. He was supposed to be there because that was first year. That was first year Ground Zero had entered in that Yaffle tournament together after we just lost in that fucking huge semifinal loss to the fucking Zombies, man. Last fucking second touchdown that Steve threw to me, and fucking ref called me down the fucking yard short, and we were supposed to fucking play the Wolverines in the fucking championship. I was so pissed.
That Ground Zero team was good in that tournament too.
Say that again.
I said that Ground Zero team was good in that tournament too. Same for
they're just getting better. Better.
Yeah.
They're a completely different style of play from normal though, because they don't have all that big strong guys up front. They use their speed and agility, so they're coming at it from a different angle. But they're doing damn good
with the right personnel. That can work. We've seen that so many times over the years. Guys coming in with small offensive lines, being able to have the more mobile quarterbacks find time to get those open receivers.
That and up here in York with 8-man, you can release all that line,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That plays a big factor into it as well. And I've often said, those guards up in York could really be used more than just guards at 9-man. They could be good tight ends in situations too that people don't account for.
Man, you just said the same shit I just told D Will fucking 2 days ago.
Yep. Like, I've been saying that for a while. Like, people don't understand the benefits of cross-training skills. Guys in York, the guards, they can learn. Those pass-catching abilities transition right to 9-man, a tight end. I've seen Jared Cohen being used as a guard catching up in York, and I think to myself every time, how has nobody put this man a tight end and 9-man?
Listen,
if not to just have a dual blocker and catcher. I
wanted to. He decided to stay with the Misfits. He had an opportunity, but I used him at guard in the indoor league, and he had quite a few catches going down the middle of the field, and not too many people want to reach in front, step in front of him and take that hit trying to go for the flag.
I did, and that motherfucker ran my ass over in the championship game. I still got
who won that game, Cramm? Hey, Cramm,
y'all won that game. Y'all won that game. It's all good. Hey, shout out to Ground Zero and Rec Boys, man, for putting 717 Elite in the championship in there early, man. I appreciate y'all boys, man.
Hey, whatever it takes.
No, fuck it. Hey, I was there.
You were there and ready. You can't help what another man does, man. You ready to play when your number gets called. That's all that happens.
Hey, but going back, Blaze, going back to that championship where Jamie and the Wolverines won it out there in KFL, it reminds me when Mayhem, AFN, and ADR was at South, behind South over there at MK Dobb, man.
Spring 18. We dubbed that. Jamie, you missed that season. That was Fast Times in South High.
Oh my goodness.
That's the best way to summarize that season.
Because AFN was the sleeper team. Mayhem was the just coming in A bracket team. You know what I mean? Just
starting was A bracket. We had 2 A bracket teams. We had a team in AFN that was coming up from Mathel, driving 90 minutes every Sunday to play double headers after playing at DC that morning.
Yep.
And they came up here and won the championship that season, beating ADR. That was the original coming to your trap and take over.
Now it just keeps getting repeated, right?
I believe they did it with I think JR started that first game against Mayhem in that playoff win.
Bro, AFN Mayhem is one of the greatest games in county history.
Oh, and that was a huge rival game too, you know what I mean? Because a lot of guys from Mayhem had just started that team, you know what I mean? And not to mention a lot of those guys who went and created Mayhem already had, tournament chips with AFN, you know what I'm saying, over the years. I think AFN has maybe like 6 or 7 tournament chips, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of guys that's over at Misfits now, you know what I mean?
Well, you remember, Cramm, the Charm City Classic 2017 when AFN came out there and won the B bracket.
And then turned right back around 2 weeks later and went to land down and won that one.
Yeah. And that was also that season when the affiliates came to Washington County, teamed up with Mayhem after the Red Knights split. Almost 5 years now, since that all went down.
Yeah.
We are live as Farrell with the completion to start the game.
This was AFN Mayhem. Mind you, AFN had only 7 guys at kickoff because they thought the kickoff was 1:30 and it was 1 o'clock.
Damn.
This is also old school, Joey. This is May 2018, almost 4 years ago now.
Yo, that's when Ron Ross had the club.
Yeah, he had the club all season because of the injury he had to the arm.
Yeah.
They have going up early. AFN, you could tell this is as makeshift as it got.
Yeah, that was LJ Hilly who took the first snap. Now you got Ant Daly at snapping right now, taking snaps.
Bro, this video quality makes me think I'm back in high school. Like I'm watching some shit from my day.
Bro, Facebook Live back then, honestly, that season we were lucky because it maxed out at about 480p most weeks, but this was one of the better weeks. Yeah, but this was old school Facebook Live, Jamie. This was like before it was cool.
Yeah, this was before I was even I didn't know much about 9-man back then. I really didn't know anything about 9-man until About a year ago, Jordan came to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to slow down on 8 and play 9." I was like, "What? What's that?"
This was the biggest turning point of the game too, because Tay's pick 6 here was what kept AFN alive. Because they had a first and goal made. This is also before I had a tripod, so I apologize profusely. I can't watch a lot of my old film because of that. God, this was a good one. But I enjoyed filming the other day. You get you right up in there to be able to watch other teams, watch the game. That's how I felt about it when I started doing it myself. Like the first game I did was a come from behind win. You remember that at Broad Axe Red Knights, the classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Almost 5 years ago now. Next month.
Right.
We're going to be putting together a full version of that broadcast to air next month. That's something we're working on right now. God, good times in this era. I'm going to take it all because I'm getting a little head dizzy myself. I might fix that sometime, actually, now that I go back and watch it. But that's all. And that highlights the talent alone. You saw the guys in there. Tay Sosa in the backfield. Where was he playing at this past weekend? Yeah, the XFL tournament up north in the A bracket.
Yeah.
But you go back and watch where a lot of those guys, Justin Fox, you saw him as well. He popped up on Misfits again recently. A lot of the mayhem, a good bit of the mayhem core with the Misfits now. It's crazy how much has changed over the years. And yeah, Sean Parker, that was your first season. You came out there for ADR, and I think you had 3 touchdowns. Sean Parker, I believe, had 3 touchdowns in his first game.
Man, let me tell you how I met that motherfucker, man. So me, Spencer, and fucking Dirk, we go out to this fucking fucking wooded area out there in fucking Brunswick or Frederick or somewhere out in the sticks, bro. And it's just like this little pickup 7-on-7 league. We never did 7-on-7, Jamie. And we out there, and Sean Parker's out there. And at first we thought he was Zeke Keys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that look like Zeke, but it's not. He's a tall motherfucker. Motherfucker like 6'5".
Tyler Murdoch in his first game. I remember that now. 3 picks.
That's how we met this motherfucker, man. And Tyler Spencer picked him up and sent his ass over there to 80-yard, and that boy showed out that first time he came out there, man.
And you got to think 80-yard back then. In addition to him, they had Cannon, they had Q,
Mouse,
yeah. Boone at quarterback. That was a loaded offense. Wayne, yeah.
Yo, what was that one boy? What was that one boy with the long ponytail that played DN?
Ooh, I gotta get back on that one.
Lance,
yeah.
Lance.
Sunglasses, Lance, yeah.
Bro. One of the best DNs. Best DN flag pullers I've ever seen in my life.
We need like a 5-year reunion 5 years ago to do like a one-off tournament of everybody where they're at now, but they're playing for their old teams. Just to see how that would go. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen Milk in the circuit in a little while, man. I thought he would usually be running with Showtime doing 5-man or something.
Milk was a monster, dog.
Milk was
a monster. Damn. Yeah, but let's talk about this past week because we talked about it earlier.
Hey, y'all have a good night. All right. I don't know anything about Washington County, so I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to run my mouth for a couple of seconds because you said my name.
Tune in Sunday morning. We're going to have We're going to have 3 games. If you don't get time that morning, I know you might be up in York or Hanover. We're busy working.
I'm in York. I got a 8 a.m. and a 9 a.m., but I'll watch it back though.
Yeah, we're going to be putting the replays up at least within 24 to 48 hours of game time. So that way guys can get out there, see the film, and enjoy it. If you don't catch it Sunday, you'll get time Monday, Tuesday, anytime before the next game day.
Yeah, you know me by now. I go back and watch your videos after the fact if I don't catch it live.
Oh, yeah. Hope you get a chance to enjoy the season ahead, Jamie. Have a good time watching. We hope to see you in Washington County very soon. Love to see the Wolverines come back. I love to see all the champions come back. I want Wolverines. I want Broad Axe, Killer Bees, X-Dogs, Misfits, ADR. Make it a Champions edition. AFN. Get the affiliates up here. I know they don't want to play against Misfits, but let it happen. All the
Make a tournament. Make a tournament with everyone you just said. See how many you can get in.
I'd love to see. I want to see a season, a Champions edition. That'd be lit.
Seasons are so hard to get people to commit for all those weeks, as opposed to, you know, one weekend tournament, everybody put up a couple $100 and have like a $3,000 payout to the winner or something, you know.
That is the biggest thing, like with tournaments. Like the other issue, I do feel like we're also at a point though with tournaments where we do got to space them out a little bit better. Because
we have a lot coming.
Yeah, there's 9 tournaments between XFFL and York in that time.
Well, a lot of those teams that were out there in Jersey this weekend, man, B teams, man, they don't really travel to like Ocean City and shit. Like you only have maybe like the LI Demons go out there. LI Ducks been going out there consistently. You know, shout out to Justin Thorne and those boys too, man, because they've been balling ever since Nationals last year. LI Ducks, you know what I mean? I went out there thinking that they were a sleeper team the first time I played them in Ocean City, and the boys came out there and won the B-Brag in the April Fools tournament.
LI Ducks, they're legit right now. Like they've been one of those teams that's been on the cusp of winning something, and then they finally broke through this past weekend. I don't have an LI Ducks jersey, so here's a West Virginia Ducks one instead in tribute for the LI Ducks.
I need to send you one.
A duck is a duck.
Walk like a duck, sound like a duck.
3 scores. JK, I don't. I don't.
I like that tough black and yellow and blue you got up there over your right shoulder, though. It looks good.
Oh, you talking about that TB jersey?
No, bruh. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
You too, Jamie. We'll see you around very soon.
Yes, sir. All right, Cramm.
All right, bro.
Jamie Lagana joining us. Glad to see him on. Hopefully, we'll see the Wolverines in Washington County sometime soon. You know, we talked about it. TJ Holston only has 1 loss on the I-81 corridor. That was to the Misfits in the regular season. Otherwise, he is undefeated, at least in Shippensburg. I'd like to see how he could do down here in DuPont. And, you know, I mean, that's the thing. We saw that challenge that Eric Boss put out yesterday with the Misfits. That's another game I like to see. I like to see the Punishers, if they do come to the DMV and play the Misfits, I want to see them come to our area.
Yeah, I owe them niggas an ass whooping.
And I'd like to see it happen down here where we play at in our home field because, you know, we talk about it. Not a lot of teams get a chance to play home games against a lot of these other teams across the circuit.
Oh.
Especially us, like down here in the Washington County area, we don't really get a chance to face off against any team in our home area.
Yeah, I was kind of upset that Maryland Titans had to play Rampage coming into Sunday in Jersey. I'm like, oh, that's weird as shit. Like we played each other back home.
They've played each other at least 5 times in tournaments last year, and it was always the quarterfinals.
Fucking ridiculous.
It's weird. They played at Nationals. They played at OC. They played at Charm City. They played at York.
Well, Nationals would probably be like a different circumstance due to the fact is that, you know, you only got a certain amount of teams that's able to make it. So yeah. I can see that. That happening.
Truthfully, Rampage and Titans may play at other tournaments, but they won't be playing any league ball this upcoming season because Rampage has moved to MAFL, has kind of shuffled that a little bit.
Oh, so they're not doing. So Rampage is not doing all.
Yeah, OMFFL this season is Misfits, Venom, Spartans, Scorpions, Bad Boys, and Titans.
Okay.
Yeah, Rampage, along with the Elite Rebels, both jumped to MAFL for the upcoming season.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, MAFL's got Rampage, PME, Rebels, as well as AFN, Petty, Blackhawks. I think I mentioned PME already. Southside, FOE, Ride Out, and Dream.
Yeah.
Southside's been a staple. Dream's still a thing, yeah.
That was another team that used to travel too. Southside used to travel in the B bracket too, but I guess they.
Well, that's the thing. Southside, they're one of those. They're an old guard team, you know. Southside and Blackhawks, and of course the WAC Rebels franchise have all been around forever.
Yeah, they have.
Like just like up here, And that's something like here in County. We got some staple franchises too popping up. Top Gun, Warriors, Misfits now is becoming a staple franchise because they're in their third season in Washington County. Technically fourth because I count last fall to a degree. You got as well Chaos as a core team up here in County. And, I like to see how these teams have grown, and they've grown really well the last few years. Killer Bees, they're becoming a part of the family down here. A lot of their core talent is starting to come from West Virginia now, more so than PA. That's a team who's been shifting in their identity. You take a look, though, all across the board, Demons, that's a lot of that's the program core coming in. You're going to see some ADR core in there as well. I'm looking forward to how that team does. We got a lot of good games this upcoming season. You got anything else to add tonight, Cramm?
Nah, bro. I think we pretty much covered it, honestly, man. I like to see what's going on with the Warriors camp, though, man. I was kind of upset, seeing Tyler at quarterback. I was like, God damn, where's Clancy?
Right.
Apparently he's a demon.
Oh, whoa, okay, all right.
Yeah, the timeline got altered, and he became part of the Cramley.
Yeah, that's okay. Cramm, okay, Cramm family.
That's what you told me earlier. You're hearing at least. I mean, if that's the case, that's big. Like Clancy and the Demons were very, very close to beating the Misfits in the semifinals last season in KFL.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even catch that game. I didn't even watch that game. That's a game that I did not watch.
Misfits defense buckled down in the second half and shut out the Demons and came back to win. One of the best comebacks Boone's had. I feel like that's going to be a really good rematch later on in the season, whether it be in the playoffs or May 15th when they square off as well. That's going to be a little bit before we see that matchup. We got a lot more coming up this week, as well as what we saw last week. But I'm really excited to see what's ahead.
What's the matchup for this week?
Matchups for this week, we're going to have at 9 a.m. Warriors and Chaos. That is the it's going to be the fourth meeting now, I believe, between these two all time. Warriors, of course, lost the first meeting back in 2020 by a score of 20-8. A game where Ross Collins is still mad.
You said against Chaos?
Yeah. Yeah, Warriors supposed to fear Chaos.
You said 20-8?
20-8.
God damn, Ross.
Kevin Clancy threw 5 picks. Tyler had 6 drops. It was bad. No, that's not what happened.
You definitely thought that.
I wasn't there that day. You were there, Ross. You were there.
We only have 10 guys, I think.
I had a witness account from RJ Hilliard about that game. He said coming out there, he knew the biggest key was to spread you guys out, and he made sure to do so, and he shredded the Warriors secondary as a result. And I believe that was RJ's first win as a starter in county in a long time.
Shit, most must have been playing safety or something for them boys to win.
Most was corner.
Oh, shit.
It was bad.
He said it was bad.
Clancy wasn't there. Foster threw, I think, 5 picks.
Foster threw 5 picks? Jeez.
Markel had
What the fuck? Yeah, y'all gotta take that. Y'all gotta take that shit out the record books.
I wasn't there that day to film it.
I couldn't play, bro. I was still in a knee brace.
Yeah, he had just got hurt with TBT the week prior against Green Machine. Or no, it was not Green Machine. It was Bill. Jace broke you.
Oh, nah, that's not what happened to my knee.
Jace broke it. It was tragic. I don't think
so what's the meeting between Chaos and Warriors? What 1-2? Warriors what?
I want to say Warriors have 2-1. I think Warriors won the last meeting last spring. And what was the opener?
More recently.
Yeah.
Clancy wasn't there.
Clancy was there. He tore him apart. It was bad. The second game of the day is going to be Killer Bees Top Gun, a game that I never thought would ever happen, but here we are. Yeah.
It might be the game of the week.
I think that's going to be the game of the week.
Yellow.
No, they're coming out.
That might.
They got a white
Game.
jersey coming, I've heard.
Oh, they already came.
Well, bees do too. The bees have a white jersey too.
Oh, white versus white. They both could be wearing white.
Yeah.
It'd be like the NBA game where the both can now wear white.
I mean, is it as bad as Misfits and Wolverines wearing dark gray and black in the championship game in the dark last year? That was a rough, especially when both teams had white.
Yeah.
No rag on you guys. I know it happens. You can't. No one planned for it that way.
It's great.
That championship in the dark though was crazy. Cramm, are you on Cramm Central?
It's great.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm a gorilla, man. CCG, baby. We in here.
There it is.
Hell yeah. I was wondering about that.
See, when you say it's not so bad.
See, hold on a second. When it comes to Cramm Central, though, like, what exactly are you guys? Is it basically the program? Like, is it the demons? Like, what exactly are we getting?
I'm be honest with you, man. Everybody, you got most people coming back from the program. You know what I'm saying? Mainly, it is pretty much programmed because y'all already know, like, when we was programmed, it was Cramm, everything Cramm, you feel me? It's the Cramly. So it's still a Cramly over here, you feel me? We add some few additions, you know what I mean? Some new Cramm members, you know what I mean? They've been cramming heavy with us, so they family, you know what I mean?
I like it though. Like, I think this is actually a good idea because, like, you guys get an opportunity to get the guys together just to play for fun for the most part of the KFFL. You might come up with a championship. Who's going to be quarterback? Is it you? Are you got back there?
J-Dub.
Nah.
You got J-Dub at quarterback, bro?
I just got win for real. It's gonna be Devin Gary.
Devin Gary? Holy
Devin Gary gonna be back there slinging the rock. You know what I mean? So I mean, he do got a strong arm. I've seen the boy throw before. You know what I'm saying? He got a strong arm. You feel me? I haven't seen him in action yet. You feel me? So I haven't been able to make a practice either because, you know what I'm saying, tournaments and I got league play and Yaffle and all this other extra shit. And during the week, I really be with my kids. So.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see how this goes. Damn, I want to be at Shippensburg on Saturday.
The O-line, I mean, the O-line and the D-line, though, that's gonna be the big key. Like we got a problem. We got a problem at both of those.
Oh, okay. So you guys are lacking trenches coming in.
No. We're not lacking trenches. We have the trenches.
Oh, you got the old program trenches.
Yeah. We got the trenches. I mean, default. I didn't see Dalton in the group chat, but I mean, he might pop out. You never know. You know what I'm saying? He might pop back out.
I love to see
him and his little brother. They might pop back out. We don't really know for real. But I mean, hey, if they don't, I mean, shoot. I think with the offense and defensive line that we got, shit, we're definitely gonna be making it to the championship. I promise you.
I can see it. It's gonna be fun. I like to get up there one weekend to see this team because of the fact that it's gonna be, I imagine, a little bit different than what we see with Demons and County. I think we'll see something more in vain than what the program was in Washington County a few years ago. Really excited. It's gonna be crazy because Cramm Central plays the Bees on Saturday, and then the Demons play the Bees on Sunday.
Right.
So you're going to have a lot of guys facing off against each other back-to-back days from those three franchises.
Dave Maxwell coming back out of retirement.
Who's coming out of retirement?
Dave Maxwell.
Dave Maxwell? Oh, shit.
Yes,
okay. What's up, dude? Who's Dutch here?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he came back out.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I like that. Like, Dave Maxwell, I always thought was a very underrated target. Like, he really carried the Brunswick offense back in the day. Like, he was killing it for them for the longest time. I felt like last time a program, he got lost in the mix a little bit because there was a lot of talented receivers back in 2019. You remember that squad was very loaded.
Oh, yeah.
No talent. Yeah, you guys had Gary, you had him, you had Polo, you had Cortez. Like,
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot over there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ballers over there. CJ was over there. I think Ian was over there at that time too.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how Cramm Central does on Saturday up at Shippensburg. And by the way, I did not intentionally schedule those two games back-to-back days. I tried to avoid stuff like that. I noticed it after the fact that it happened. I was like, oh, well, I wanted to get Cramm Central out there. I know they didn't see week one. A lot of that was because X-Dogs I knew would be off for a month if they ended up not playing because they were requesting off for this week. So I'm glad to see Cramm get out there with a doubleheader. I think you guys got Killer Bees and For You to Envy. Amp. Yeah, awesome.
Scram Saber.
Amp. He muted himself. There he is.
There he is.
I was saying, Ant, you guys have Killer Bees and For You to Envy in a doubleheader.
Say it again, bro.
You guys have Killer Bees and For You to Envy.
Yeah. As far as me looking at it, I mean, I think we're gonna do well during both games. I mean, we're gonna come out, hopefully, offense come out, gelling well together. Defense aside, that's just a assignment. You know what I mean? Do your same thing with the offense too, as well, though. You know what I mean? Do your job, run your route all the way through. I don't think it should be a problem. You know what I mean? So, Devin Gary, he's been around the flag situation for a little minute now. So, I feel as though that he'll be fine back there. You know what I mean? He's quick on his feet, has IQ, plays semi-pro ball, tight end receiver. So I feel as though that he might be able to do something back there for us. I mean, if not, I don't think, team owner would give him the job, you know what I mean, if he couldn't get the job done. So
yeah. And I think it's gonna be interesting because we talk about it, KFFL this season. They already got 5 teams up there. And you're gonna see a lot of good competition between what the Bees have to offer, Chaos, X-Dogs, and of course For You to Envy, which they seem like that team has a lot of talent coming in from the YAFFL league as well as some of the Spartan guys who are already there. I'm really looking forward to see how that goes. And I think that's a good league for a team like that to go out there, have some fun, see what guys can do. We talk about it all the time. The benefit of being able to play in another league, sometimes you could try things out that you may never try out in your normal league. I want to see how Devin Gary does. Because if he goes out there and balls out, that is suddenly a quarterback option. And that's a viable one at that. And for what it's worth, Sean Parker, these games, I believe, are 9 and 11-10 for Cramm Central on Saturday. That's off the top of my head. I don't have it on me in front of me. But, that's going to be awesome to see. That's going to be a little triple threat, a bit of a Bassford Heritage Bowl setup. 2 teams going at it, or 3 teams, rather. And we'll see who comes out victorious. That's a big momentum shifter. Because Bees and For You to Envy and Cramm Central will all be playing each other. And then they all got to get up the next day because the Killer Bees are not just playing a doubleheader in Keystone. They're playing a doubleheader in County.
Yeah, they got back. Yeah. They got back-to-back.
Killer Bees. They got 4 games this weekend. 4 of your 6 games will be the Killer Bees this weekend. They got 2 in Shippensburg, 2 in Martinsburg.
Well, hopefully in County they can figure out this quarterback situation. During that Misfits game, man, they had 3 different quarterbacks playing.
TJ, I believe, got hurt is what happened there, and that's why Nick Diaz, which, by the way, Nick Diaz making his 9-man debut fresh out of Waynesboro High School last year. So now we got kids born in 2003 playing, guys.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's wow. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 2003.
I just jumped off the porch in 03. God damn.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Let's put it like this.
I graduated high school.
Let's put it like this. When that kid started playing, when that kid was born, George Nunn was going to be in his 11th season in flag football when that kid was born.
Ooh, damn.
To give you a sense of how much time has passed.
That's wild.
To put it in perspective, when he was born, Doc was in his 20th season of playing flag football.
Is that left-handed quarterback that you're talking about?
Yeah, the guy who came in for TJ. He played his first ever 9-man game against Misfits on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was tough. Like, I give him a lot of credit though. Like, to go out there and face off against the Misfits team, a really tough one at that. Like, I got to give him props. That's a hard draw, and you guys were giving it to him all game. The physicality on him was there. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I thought he was like I knew the quarterback. I think he had like a green Adidas jacket on at first and like a face mask, black face mask. Like he was getting crushed. Like when TJ got there, it was a good reason why he got there at that time because it was gonna get drastic. You know what I mean? Young boy, I'm not gonna lie. He looked me off. He looked me off on that interception where Malik Skins jumps. No, not Malik Skins. D'Lo Guzman jumps the post route. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm playing my old team, the Killer Bees. I know this receiver who I'm guarding, which was Devin, and I'm thinking, well, it's only two routes he's gonna run: a curl or a go. You know what I mean? And he's already ran 4 curls, but this time it was switched up. So I'm gambling. I'm thinking he's gonna run the streak. My eyes are still in the backfield. He takes off, run the post. Thank God D'Lo playing safety right there because it would have been a house call if D'Lo didn't see that post coming towards him. So.
And that guy balls out. I give a lot of credit to the York guys who come over here to play on Sundays or Saturdays. Those guys have really taken in the 9-man game over there. And I'm really glad to see them become a big part of our community as well. They really helped define the 4th state of Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and now West Virginia, which you got to think about. This is a unique year in 9-man. We have a league in D.C., Baltimore, West Virginia, and PA. Almost the entire 4th state is covered in 9-man now.
Yeah, you got two leagues in PA when it comes to 9-man. That XFL.
Well, I mean, like down towards our region, yeah. More towards our region, yeah. XFL is the southern end of PA. PA is kind of like a divided territory. The south end belongs to DMV. The north end belongs to the north.
I wouldn't mind taking that 2.5 hour trip out there for a weekend in that league, you know, to play, you know, 4 games, honestly. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind playing out there. There's a lot of teams out there in that league that play, you know what I mean? And they're not really A bracket teams. I mean, with Empire, they want to be bracket championship. I forgot what championship it was, but they won one, and
they won EC last year.
Yeah, and I felt like a lot of those faces that I saw on the live, you know, were from a lot of A bracket guys that used to be with the Seminoles when Perone, who's now is the tight end for 148 Athletes, was the quarterback, and they won the national championship as the New York Seminoles.
So yeah, back in 2019, they won that B championship. I remember I got a glimpse of them actually the year prior at Charm City 18 when I was filming their game with the affiliate nation. They came out there and beat them on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are now split up. You know what I mean? Like you got a lot of those guys from that championship run, man, are now split up. I was just talking to Iron Mike, you know, after
and
that.
Mind you who the head coach of that team was, Mr. Deuce Dutch.
Yes, he was.
I know Deuce is watching that show. He put that comment in just as I was saying it. I was like, let me get that out there because Deuce is going to say something.
Yeah.
And I give Deuce a lot of credit. That team I watched, he had at Charm City. They were on point. They were ready to go. When he signed on later on and joined that team in 18, I'm fucking out of it. But seeing what he did, getting into that national championship, Deuce has shown his knowledge of the game is off the charts. I haven't been with him last year when we did the show up in New York. And having talked to him leading up to it, the guy knows a lot about the game. And that whole Seminole second gen crew is still insane to watch. Like,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And then a year later, you saw what they did at when they brought in Matt Bailey and company and won that championship over the Lions. A lot of talent across this East Coast region of 9-man.
Yeah, definitely is, man. A lot of those guys, I saw a lot of those faces from that second gens team playing with I think I seen one or two guys playing with the Punishers. As you know, Rob Lane, you know, he was very famous for, you know, scooping guys up. And plus, when he put the Blazers, I think the last time I heard about Blazers 2.0 was actually at Charm City or at another event or something like that. I can't really remember it, but that's the last time I heard about the 2.0 Blazers. Last time I played them was actually in Charm City when I was actually with Nemesis. That's the last time that I played them, and they had drop-it jerseys. They didn't have impression jerseys at that time. So
Rob was bouncing around a little bit last year. Usually with Deuce, you remember at Charm City, they were with Outcast and coached that team up, managed to get to the quarterfinals. You know, our guys in the Tri-State Spartans had the semi-competitive game with them in the Sweet 16. And I always like to see our guys get a chance out there, win or lose against the best of the best.
right.
But I'm really excited about this upcoming weekend. I'm going to be out there filming. We got 3 good games on Sunday. I don't have Saturday for what it's worth. Keith Giles the other day put out there that there was nobody on for Saturday. For what it's worth, I spend my weekends in another state, 90 minutes south from here, closer to Maffle than it is to Shippensburg. So I won't be available on Saturday, unfortunately. I'll be out picking some roses. So if anybody wants that, go ahead. Keith hit me up earlier in the week to let me know. I told him I couldn't make it. But Sunday, Joey Blaze will be there. We will be live for 9 a.m. For Warriors Chaos, as well as Killer Bees Top Gun and Killer Bees Demons. In fact, let's get to some predictions, fellas. Let's get to some predictions. And I know you're off this week. You guys will be playing the Misfits. You'll be off. Misfits back on May 1st in Washington County League play. A bit of a disjointed season, unfortunately, due to holidays and tournaments and just a lot of stuff going on this year.
Right.
We're catching up for lost time the last few years when it comes to things in life. So I'm really excited. Yeah. Warriors Chaos. Ross, I know your feelings on this game. What do you got, Cramm?
I'm going to take the Warriors.
You got the Warriors?
I'm gonna take the Warriors. I feel as though that they're gonna come back out. You know, they're tough, man. Look, they're a tough team to be reckoned with. I'm not gonna lie. You know, they might come out like 10 guys, 11 guys, but they gel well together and they know how each other play. They've been playing for years together, so they come out the slump. I believe they'll come out the slums due to their 0-1 or 0-2 start from last week. You know what I mean? So,
they got one on Top Gun. They lost one to Demons.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, see, I believe, yeah, and I have a feeling that they'll overcome this win with Chaos. This right here will probably set the tone for them to go into the following week on whoever team next they play, whether it's Misfits, Killer Bees, or Demons. The week after that, again, I'm not sure. So
I want to say May 1st is going to be Warriors and Bees. But I won't confirm that at this time. I want to say it is, though, off the top of my head.
He made the schedule, folks.
Does not mean I have it in front of me to refer back to as something I wrote a month ago.
He made the schedule, folks.
I actually might be right. I don't know.
Probably are.
I'm just guessing off of what I remember writing.
You probably are.
But, I'm excited to. I think the Warriors do take this one as well. Chaos right now, while they have Marty running around and doing work, the biggest problem they're facing is, do they bounce back from that awful start 2 weeks ago? Because you got to think, it wasn't just losing the Misfits. It was losing to Killer Bees. It was losing.
Oh yeah, that was a pride. That was a pride thing right there. That shit humbled them real quick.
Yeah, when you come out there in your first 3 games out the gate, you're getting outscored by a total of 41-6.
God damn.
That's not the start you need. Especially when it was against Misfits, X-Dogs, and Killer Bees, the 3 teams that you know will be the ones to look out for this season. And I think with Chaos, they will keep it together. They just got to talk it through, work it through. They've had a bye week now. Both leagues were off last week. I have heard rumors they are trying to enter Ocean City. And, you know, I really like what they're trying to do over there.
You talking about Chaos or Killer Bees?
Both of them are going to be in it. I've heard both. Bees are in, and Chaos is in negotiations. And you made the post the other day. Scott Kiefer was the one listed as being in negotiations with him over the whole deal, getting Chaos there. So,
right.
So we'll be seeing a bit of a Top Gun, Chaos, Ruckus, whatever is left of County's B team for Ocean City. I think that'd be cool to see. Bees will have their guys. So far, it seems like we're going to have 3 representatives for OC: Misfits, Bees, and Chaos.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah. I like to see us go out there and get some wins. You know, last year, Misfits got a win on the Elite Rebels in day 1 and the Scorpions on day 2. And, of course, Spartans got a win on both 717 Elite and the Killer Bees. And remember, they had that very close game with the Bad Boys, that battle between Keenan Pooler and Jaleel. What a game that was.
I believe that was in the C bracket, wasn't it?
They got the wins in C, but their Saturday B game with the Bad Boys, they actually had a 3-point lead entering the 4th quarter.
Damn.
Yeah, Spartans almost pulled up a big upset there.
Yeah, I couldn't make that.
Chaos isn't going. Okay, so that's it. My bad, Eric. I didn't see that. So Chaos is out for OC. Bees and Misfits are going to be the teams. You know, I'd put TVP in if guys signed up. I'd be down for that.
I couldn't make Ocean City last year, man. I got that bad injury when Lucas ran out of the pocket and I collided with Chad Claggett.
I remember that back in week 1 when you guys faced off against them, or week 2 against Venom. Yeah.
Almost a year ago, April 17th, man. That was a devastating, tragic freak accident for me, bro. Like, I still have pain from that shit till this day in my shoulder, neck, and everything. But I still wake up every day, don't bitch argue and complain about it.
I give you a lot of respect for that, man. Second game of the day, Killer Bees, Top Gun. Ross, who do you got?
I got the refs.
You got the refs. So for any time it's a tie this season, that means the referees are the winners technically.
I got the refs.
All right. So he's got whatever combination of Brian, Keith, Tom, and Don is there on Sunday.
Oh, boy. Nah, I got man, who do you got?
Who does Cramm got?
Man, look. I'm only doing this just because, you know, it's Coach E, man. You know, the organization he's been running for some years, man, is great. So, you know, I'm going to take my old team. I'm going to go with the Killer Bees, man. Hopefully TJ will come out the slums, get the ball out quick to his receivers, his playmakers, offensive line. Really don't have an offensive line for what I saw in the Misfits Killer Bees game. But hopefully he can, you know, adjust to it and make sure that, you know, the ball's coming out quick, stop holding the ball. If you got to take off and run, just do exactly that. You know what I mean? Simplify the game, make it easier for them. Make the guys come up and pull flags. You know that a lot of defenses know. It's just like me. You know, if I was playing this game this Sunday, it'd be different because a lot of teams know that, hey, Ant, he's a quarterback. He likes to pass the ball. So a lot of defenses will play a lot of zones. So you break that zone down by running through the zone, taking your pick your lane, and whatever gap you want to run, outside lane, inside lane, and just go with it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take the Bees, though. I'm going to take Bees over Top Gun. I'm going to take them by 6.
I'm going to go Bees as well. Top Gun seemed a little discombobulated. There's too much talent, though, on that team to lose. But the Bees quarterback, TJ Williams, also has too much talent. And Top Gun has historically struggled with Tuz over the years. And I think it's not going to be any different this time. I think TJ and company ball out.
Yeah, Top Gun's D-line is always suspect.
Secondary as well, I think, makes me a little nervous. I don't know what they're going to have. You know, it's like the Top Gun of old with Brandon Cato back there.
I'm going to go Top Gun.
Going with the guns?
I got Bees.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my Bees, man. That's gonna be a game to watch though too, man. I believe it's gonna come down honestly, and I'm just being honest. I mean, I don't care what receiver, DB takes this offensive to them, or what key player you are, but it's definitely gonna come down to quarterback, Ricky Miller and TJ Williams. That's what it's gonna come down to. And Ricky, don't sleep. I mean, I'm not sleeping on Rick, but I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, Rick is not the quarterback that's not to take the chances. You know what I mean? He's the type of quarterback that's going to put that shit out there. If he sees it, he sees the receiver get open, he's going to put it all out there. So, I mean, and plus he can run too. He can take off. You know what I mean? He's not the running quarterback, but if he has to pick up positive yards, you know what I'm saying, to get down the field, then that's what he'll do. You know what I mean? And most likely you'll get a holding call because Ricky wears shorts.
Yeah. Demons, Bees, guys. Who y'all got? I got Demons. Who you got?
I'm going to take the Demons by 20.
Demons by 20. All right.
20 donut, man. 20 donut.
Sunday morning, 9 a.m. We'll see you there. For Jamie Lagana, Cramm Sandford, and Ross Collins, I'm Joey Blaze. Good night.